I am devastated by the horrific murder of Charlie Kirk. What I hate the most is that people who pretend to stand for human lives, anti-racism or pro-gun control and against gun violence, or so they say, are openly cheering his death. They are capable of making exceptions to their highly principled ideas when it fits them, which to me means having no principles at all, just using the idea of having principles to defend their own interests. It shows they will say they are against violence against women, but then cheer when a woman who says something they don't agree with gets murdered or is murdered by an inconvenient perpetrator. To me, this attack shows that the left in the United States is now officially fascist, similar to how Italian fascists suppressed dissent by hitting and murdering people. The last year has shown attempts on the president, the murder of an healthcare CEO, and now this political murder. This is not liberal nor progressive. These words have been used to excuse one's own actions as if they were made in the name of progress. These people are not the good guys. They are the sheep, following the path of least resistance. Since the left became an aesthetic, it has lost its core, and everyone hungry for an identity has adopted the leftist, in air quotes, ideology. I say leftist in quotes because they aren't left-leaning, far from it. They don't understand leftism at all. Just what looks like it, similar to how there are many Muslims claiming to be devout without knowing the actual Quran. In that sense, modern leftism, including all anti-rational ideologies like Marxism, trans ideology and critical race theory, is a religion. It has become a tribe. Once you are part of this ecosystem, you get cast out if you differ on opinion. Dogma is enforced under the guise of fighting the common enemy, in quotes. They are the Sith in some way. As Obi-Wan said, only the Sith deals in absolutes. I am devastated by the news that Charlie Kirk, a conservative American commentator and debater, has been murdered at one of his rallies. I didn't agree with him on everything, but I admired his approach of talking to people and trying to argue with them in a fair way, without using demagoguery. He believed in the core principles of liberal democratic countries, freedom of speech and assembly, and most importantly, an always open for debate attitude. He believed we must start with ourselves and the people close to us to change society. He went to places where he wasn't wanted, asking questions, having conversations, and trying to bring people together by seeing where everyone stands. A true Democrat in the honest sense of the word. A true believer in Enlightenment values. His religious values, if any, never trumped fundamental human rights, freedom of speech, and non-violence. He embodied the idea that even if someone disagrees with your views, you still respect them as human being. I'm so sad because public discourse has taken a big blow with this murder. The signal it sends is that expressing opinions publicly is dangerous, and that trying to bridge gaps or find humanity in each other is risky. It reminds me of Pim Fortuyn and Theo van Gogh, whose murders revealed the dangers of religious zealotry and political violence. What concerns me is that some people's idea of justice is so far from reality that they don't care about people for the sake of people. They care about how people should be ruled, not for people themselves. These acts of terrorism make society less free, less open, and more violent. I hope Trump reacts to this act with love, not hate. I hope the perpetrator is publicly shamed and then jailed for life, and that those celebrating the murder recognize how foolish they are. I fear the instability this cowardly act may bring. I hope it does not, but I am hesitant about the self-containment of people who have suffered under woke fascism for the last 10 years. Fascism is a belief, not an attitude to life. Too many people have been distracted by Nazi flags, Hitler salutes and skinheads, and have not caught on to the real nature of fascism: suppression of dissent, political murder and demagoguery. I hate the hypocrisy of people calling themselves leftist. They are not leftist, they are ignorant, racist fascists adopting the look of progressive liberals. This is the easiest way with which they can get away with their heinous acts. They are ignorant because they have never had to think for themselves. They are the real danger. They are the sheep of this world. It is easy to be a leftist. You are virtuous by default. At least so they think. Many have taken over the movement representing humanity and taken only the outer aesthetic. The inner workings of most liberals today are like those of Nazis, crushing dissent, framing demagoguery and narrow-mindedness. They are skinheads with lipsticks and blue hair, fascists in drag. We need an enlightened figure, but most of all, we need to stay true to our convictions.